Hello everyone and welcome back. This is our Hoya video day 2. If you are new here, my name is Brittany and on this channel we talk all about plants. Today I'm super excited because we are kicking it off with my favorite plant in my collection, my biggest Hoya, my most prolific growing plant that I own. Be prepared for the before and after 9-month transformation. And then we are going to talk about some other beautiful Hoyas that I have in my collection. So if you are into Hoya and into plants and into caring for plants, stick around and let's talk Hoya day 2. And here she is, the beautiful Hoya publicalis Splash. I just showed you a before. I have had this plant for 9 months. This was a grocery store plant that I got from Albertsons. If you are Albertsons people, then you know they don't usually have very much in terms of plants. But when I saw this, I had to swoop it up. And it was pretty small. Right away when I received it, I put it on this trellis. There were no leaves. It was just vines along the trellis. And in the 9 months, this has absolutely taken off. My fastest grower, my hardiest plant, my easiest plant. If you do not have a Hoya publicalis, but you enjoy Hoyas, I would say definitely get this guy. I love this plant so much. Let me get you a little close up here. It is just so beautiful with these dark leaves. They're super hardy. If you give it really good sun, when the new leaves come in, they're this like dark burgundy purple color, and then they eventually turn to green. I got the Splash, so it does have some splashiness. I'll give you a little bit of a close-up of that. I would highly recommend a trellis. This thing has absolutely loved it. As it grows, it shoots out these new little vines. And at first, it kind of looks like it's not doing anything. You might want to cut them off. But this is where the leaves grow from. So as it gets new vines, I just kind of wrap it around itself so it feels like it's climbing. So I literally just go like this, wrap it around itself. This little guy up here, I'll kind of tuck it in. It's probably a tangled mess, but I have no intention of taking it off of the trellis. As it starts to get a little bit crazy, I will cut it back. I do have some cuttings. I do have a smaller plant that was taken as a cutting from this. And then it is in this really large pot, which it's done great in. This is what I purchased it in. And I just water it not very often when it's super dry. I'll lift it. I know what it feels like. When it feels really light, I'll go ahead and water it. Or another hint that this needs watered is that the leaves start to wrinkle up. I have not had any experience in this being really thirsty or really prone to losing leaves when it's thirsty. Excuse me. So it's just so super easy. If it gets a little droopy, I water it and it bounces right back. So in terms of Hoya and them being thirsty plants, I've noticed it with some others, not this one at all. So I'll show you that before again, show you this after. Like I said, this is 9 months worth of growth. And then let me show you, I'll put him in the frame a little bit. The smaller plant that I have that I took as a cutting, plopped it in some water. It grew roots really easily, fairly quickly, and then I potted it up. I did put it on a trellis as well. When you place Hoya on trellis, you want to spin them counterclockwise around the trellis because that's how they grow naturally in nature. And so it's going to mimic their natural environment. That is actually something I learned from one of my viewers, one of my subscribers, so thank you so much. And that is what I have been doing since. Let me grab that little plant real quick. So here she is. This sits right in my big window. There's a better view of the splash, those splashy leaves. This sits right in my big window. It also, I don't know how this happened, it has like a little volunteer, focus, pothos growing in it. I'm just leaving it because it's cute. And it's doing great. It's really doing great. So as it grows, I wrap it around a little bit more. I love how this looks, how it's just halfway up. This is awesome. And then I do have another cutting that is currently rooting in water. This guy is full, it's thick. At some point, it's going to outgrow this trellis, so I just keep cutting it back so I can leave it as is. The Hoya publicalis, I have the splash, highly recommend. My favorite plant that I own. Okay, so if you were here yesterday for part 1, you saw us unbox this new Hoya. It is the New Guinea Ghost, so go check that out. We also talked a little bit about this gorgeous Hoya Crimson Queen that is growing in all white leaves, how to handle that. And then we repotted and gave new life to my Hoya Croniana Super Silver. It's got these tiny little silver leaves. It's so cute. Today we are talking about another one of my favorites. This is the Hoya Wayedii tricolor. So you can see it's got that dark green, it's got that light green, and then it's got that pink. And this one's really unique to me because it's got these really slim, long leaves, and it is also very hardy. This does need some water right now, so I'm going to go water it right after this. But this one I have had no issues with in terms of water either. I'm thinking about doing a self-watering pot just because it is so easygoing, but if it gets a little wrinkly and a little bit sad like this, I give it a little water, it bounces back up, the leaves plump right back up, and it is good to go. I got this at the cute plant shop in Fort Collins, Colorado. This plant shop had the biggest Monstera deliciosa I have ever seen, and it was fruiting. It had huge fruits on it. It was amazing. If you live in the Colorado area, you should go see this Monstera. It's beautiful. Let me know in the comments. I will tell you where to go. But this I got, it was $30, Hoya Wayedii, 4 inches. It says bright indirect light, moderately dry soil. It is an easygoing, really show-stopping, super cool plant. Deals with my internal temperatures being cooler because we are in winter in Wyoming. Deals with very low humidity because that's where I live. We have no humidity. And it is, like I said, really easygoing. The leaves will start to look wrinkly. You give it some water, you're good to go. The next one I want to talk about is the Hoya Oblivata Splash. So that is what that looks like. Oblivata, these leaves are really round, very ovally. I did put it onto this trellis, and I just get these little butterfly clips that I wind it, clip it, wind it, clip it, and it seems to work really well. I'm going to sound like a broken record with Hoya. Tell me your experience with them. People say they're kind of high maintenance in terms of needing water, certain soil. All the ones I have been like my easiest plants. Granted, I have not yet gotten a bloom on any of them. I'm hoping for that this summer, especially with this big guy. but they've just been so easy. When I first got this one, I ordered it in the mail. I did lose some leaves, but I've grown multiple new leaves back in that time. It's probably been less than 6 months, and it just really acclimated well. Let me know what your experience has been with Hoya. Do they tend to be more needy, more difficult, or are they just like easygoing, here for the party like mine are? Did I get lucky, or are they just chill plants? Let me know what you think. I'm gonna go grab my last one that I want to talk about. It's my saddest one, so I need a little bit of advice on this guy. I think I know what the issue is, but let me know what you guys think. Okay, definitely last but not least in this case, this is the Hoya Carrii variegated. And it's that really sweet heart one that we see at Valentine's Day all over the big box stores. And I got the variegated one, put it on this cutie trellis. This is the size of pot. I got the 6-inch, and this is the size of pot that it came in. I just took it out and placed it into my own see-through pot. I have noticed it's having a hard time. I've not gotten any new leaves, and I know that this is a slow grower, but I kind of wonder if it needs a smaller pot. It can happen that if you have a huge pot compared to the plant, it will use its energy to produce roots that fill that pot out or fill its space out, as opposed to putting the energy into the stem and the leaves. So I'm kind of thinking that's what's going on. I also got it, let me see if I can show you here. As you can tell from the mother, it has all these cut pieces, and I'm just not seeing a place where, like, okay, sorry about that. My camera storage filled. I needed to fix that. But as I was saying, there's not really a spot where I'm seeing that a new vine is going to start growing. This was cut. It's like really dry. It doesn't have life to it. And then all of the other points that I'm seeing are not producing anything. So I'm thinking that I might have to cut it down here below a node and kind of see what happens. Let me know. Let me kind of look and see. There's just nowhere for it to continue to grow. And my issue here is, like, it feels like it's wet. I haven't watered it in a couple weeks, but the leaves look really wrinkly. So I don't know what's going on. This is my saddest Hoya. So I'm looking for tips in the comments. What are your best tricks when it comes to Hoya Carrii, especially with getting some movement in terms of growth? Should I cut it back here? And then I really think I need to probably pot it down. Let me know what you think. And maybe like a better draining soil so that it's not just sitting with wet roots. Let me know. I think it's gorgeous. I love this plant. I think it's so adorable. And compared to all my other Hoya, you should see my desk right now, you guys. It's just filled with Hoya. It's just so different, and it's in my entryway. It's a showstopper. If it really could fill this trellis out, I think it would be so cool. So let me know. What are your best tricks? I need those. I need those for this poor little guy. I think that is it for today. Those are my Hoya. Those are my tricks. Those are my faves. That I hope created a little shopping list for you. Send it to hubby. And we are tomorrow going to do a little bit of plant chores. I did get some seeds to start for my garden, and I ordered some self-watering pots that I want to put a couple of my really, really thirsty plants into. So come back tomorrow. Let's do some chores together. Let's communicate down in the comments. I would love to hear from you, and I will see you guys next time.